What would you do if you had no fears? In today's podcast, CeCe and I are going to share some thoughts with you. So stay tuned.
Hey, Blissful friends, welcome back to another episode of the Blissology Podcast. I am your host, CeCe, and I'm joined by my hubby.
Everyone, this is Will, and we're glad to have you today. If this is your first time with us, this is a weekly podcast where we talk about
love, life, relationship, family, fear, stuff, and whatever else is going on around the world. We'll talk about it here, right here. So before we get into the topic of the day, as you guys know, we like to go into our blissful moment, which means something blissful that happens to one of us this week. What was your blissful moment, babe?
Well, I'm alive. So
okay. Well, we are grateful, and yeah, that's something that But do you have a particular one, like one specifically?
Any specific thing that happened that's different from
maybe
the week
work?
Prior?
I mean, it was my mom's birthday.
It was your mother's birthday, yeah.
That's a blissful moment.
It's a blissful moment. We actually got together and we cut a cake.
Yes.
Took some pictures.
Yes.
Sang happy birthday.
Yes.
She was really pleased that we were there.
She was.
Although she said she wasn't going to be
Oh
home.
my God, guys, let me tell you about my mother. My mom will tell you, you know what? It's okay. You don't have to come by. Don't take that from her, okay? If she said it's okay, that means it's the other way around. Because we spoke the day before, a couple days before her birthday, right? She's like, your dad's going to take me out and do things together. We don't have to do the same thing every year. But hey, let me be honest though. If my brother didn't tell me he was over there, I probably would not have gone to my mom because she clearly said to me that she was going to be out the whole time. She wanted something different. And, you can't blame the lady for wanting to spend time with her husband, on her birthday. Although her kids want to be around her. We want to be a part of her birthday.
You've been around for a while. It's time to kind of give her some space.
But she was happy. She was happy to see us. She was really happy. But yeah.
Well, since she didn't go out, for the time that we would have been there, if she was home.
Oh, yes.
Then she would have just sat around watching TV or something.
Right.
And do nothing special for her.
Yes.
So it's a good thing.
And I called her on her birthday. I called her at 6:30, almost 7 o'clock. I called my mom so early. Like, I want to make sure that I called her to wish her a happy birthday.
I remember that.
And you wished her happy birthday that morning.
Yeah, you brought me the phone.
And the kids, everybody was up. It's Grandma's birthday. Hey.
I'm always up that early.
Yeah, it's Grandma's birthday. So we were all happy to wish her a happy birthday. She had a great time. My brother and his family was there. We were there. And that's usually how we celebrate my mom's birthday. It's a
family thing.
It's just us. Literally just us. My side of the family and my brother's side of the family and my mom and my dad. And that's about it. But it was cool.
Yeah, it went well,
I had some good cake, although I had to work it out this morning. Oh, you left the cake in the car? Baby. Oh.
It wasn't intentional.
You know how good Haitian cake is? Seriously?
It wasn't intentional.
Listen, guys.
I'll buy you some cake.
No, it's not the same. Listen, if you had a Haitian cake before, you know what I'm talking about. You have that like once a year. That's the only time you can have it because it's so sweet and it's so moist.
This one wasn't that sweet though.
It's so moist and so well put together. I mean, there's no other one can compare to our cake. But man, babe, really? Now I'm mad.
You're not supposed to have cake anyway.
No,
cake is bad for you.
It was chocolate and vanilla.
No, it's still good. Anyway, so we had a good time.
We had a good time. The kids had a good time. I think all that matter is the fact that we were all together, take pictures, and the grandchildren were over there. And that's something that she loves. And your mom is very similar too. Your mom loves when we all there for her birthday, when it comes to her birthday.
Oh, she's always like, I gotta take some pictures.
Your mom and my mom, they're like the picture queen. I wasn't really into the picture this year though. I was like, I sad. I enjoyed the time with my mom, but I don't think as far as the picture taking, I didn't really.
Well, how many pictures can you take? Maybe one or two. It's just to capture the moment. Because
true.
I think for the last 10, 15 years or so, we have some pictures that we take every year. I think
that's what it is.
Day.
That's what
so
it is.
So we can go back year after year after year. We'll see exactly what happened.
Right. So. I think that's what it is. Because I had we had a library of pictures of our family. So yeah, that's what it is. Overall, it was great. We had a great time and mom had a great time. And that's all that matters. My dad always take care of her. That is such a great guy. Take notes, baby. He hates when I say that. I'm just saying,
I have no pen, so I can't take notes.
You just don't like it. But I'm just saying, when you 40 plus years later and he's still kicking it and still got it. So, hey, Dad, shout out to you. Good job yesterday. But now let's get back into the topic of the day. What was that again, baby? Was it the topic of the day again?
What would you do
if
you had absolutely
no fear?
No fear.
That's deep.
What would you do?
I would say no.
More often?
More often. I would say whatever's on my mind at the moment. If I had no fear what others people, reaction would be like, I would say whatever's come to mind. Whatever's there, because a lot of time we tend to
silence ourselves.
Yeah.
Based on other, I think many of us are like that. I know I would. I would literally spit out anything that's in my head. And, sometimes I have some crazy thoughts that come
I know you do.
Because there are things that I'm in, I'm like, really?
Yeah,
really?
I know you do. But think about it. But I think there's something about fear, though, that we have to have that in order for us to grow, right?
Well, you gotta have. I think fear can be healthy. However, fear also can be a deterrent. It keeps you, like, for instance, you may have a good idea that you want to bring up, but you're afraid that it's going to get criticized and you just don't bring it up.
Right.
So in that sense, fear is holding you back.
Yes.
But at the same time, you could have some crazy thoughts you want to bring out there. Some damaging comments you want to make.
Yes.
And it's a good thing you're fearing that it may cause this other person great grief that you don't say. But I think we all should say what's in our mind, because at the end of the day, we're lying to ourselves and we're lying to the people around us.
True. But what would you do, babe? Can you imagine what your life would be like without the presence of fear?
Oh, man, I'll be in a completely different place. I probably wouldn't be doing the type of work that I'm doing right now, because I would have taken so many risks along the way that I would have been way ahead in the things I do. And I could look back on some of the things that up until this day that I'm doing, because I'm afraid of what may happen if I do something.
Right.
If I say, for instance, if I were to get up right now and quit my job, I'm afraid, oh my God, I'm going to lose everything I have.
Yeah.
But never think that losing a job is not the end of the world. You may suffer for some time, but you'll find something else if your desire is to get something else, or you may even go and build your own stuff.
And I think that's what happened a lot of time for us when we work for, when we work for corporate, when we work for a company, and we either got laid off and we feel like, oh my God, my life is over, or I'm done, just because of this happened, you feel like everything is just.
Yeah. But that usually happens. Usually think this way before it happens. And God forbid it happens.
Right.
Yes, you may struggle for some time, months, years sometimes. But if you are a person who's strong enough and you desire to be better, you will find ways.
Yes.
And I think suffering helps us be better.
Absolutely.
But we're afraid of suffering.
It's just not in my blood.
Yes.
It's just not.
You know, there's some things that you would do if you weren't put in a position where you suffer a little bit. You probably will never thought of this particular idea, of this particular thing that you're doing.
Right.
Because if you sit somewhere and you're comfortable, you'll never go look for anything.
You'll
else.
No.
Yeah. So there's
Absolutely.
many people right now that are doing things in talking about jobs, that are working in positions that maybe they don't quite like, but comfortable enough that they can get by.
Right.
Someone like this will never have any desire to look for anything else or to even better themselves within that same company, because they're somewhat comfortable.
It is.
You know, they may complain from time to time, but they're good.
And what happens to comfort? Comfort doesn't bring growth, right?
No.
When you're so comfortable, there's no growth there. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that if they would, if they would have this mind, you know what, I can quit my job, or I can start a business if I have no fear of what other people's going to say. I can, do what do you call this? The bungee jumping, right?
Yes.
So
a bungee jump, I'll skydive.
Right.
Yeah, that's something I would do. Well,
can you imagine, like, you face that fear? You're like, you know what? I think Will Smith did something like that recently for his 50th birthday.
List, I think.
Yeah, so he did that. So he faced the fear, and there's people that would said yes more.
Yeah, well, think of these daredevil type of thing. I have no issues with them.
Yes,
like roller coasters, this crazy thing
I
that
do.
drives that mess up with your inside.
I do.
Actually, I get adrenaline. That's why I haven't been to a theme park in maybe 2 years, and the first chance I get, I'm going to either Universal Studio or Disney.
Well, good luck.
And I know they have some new rides. I want to try you'll be with the kids and you can relax with them because they're not as little. So I can go and hopefully I get me one of those fast pass if they still have them and get on as many. Like these things, I'm not afraid of them.
I know there's people who are afraid of heights. That's something I think that's big. Like there's people who would not get up and to use the escalator because they're afraid. It's high, right? So it's something that a lot of us should definitely look and see. What would you do if you can face your fear?
Yeah. I think doing something, and obviously don't go and hurt yourself. But do something daring. Do the daring things. Just go down a list of things that man, I'd like to do this, but why am I not doing it?
I know.
And if fear is the reason, think of if you had no fear, how would you go about doing this?
I know I would definitely involve in public speaking a lot more if in front of a large crowd, if it wasn't for fear. That's actually something that I'm very passionate about because of my life purpose coaching business. So I would want that.
Yeah, but you're already doing it. I mean,
but it's not a large crowd yet.
Well, that's coming. And when that time comes, you will sweat. You will shiver.
Listen.
You'll feel all these emotions.
And you're not sure if they're good emotions or bad emotions, because there's a difference between the two of them.
Well, when these things happens, it's literally your body telling you, hey, that's not safe. Don't go there. When in fact, there's nothing that's going to hurt you. One thing that helps me get over I still have some crazy fears, but some of the things that I've been able to get over is to think, is this physically hurting me? Mm-hmm. If it's not, then the worst thing that I can come out of it may be a little bit of embarrassment, but I can deal with that.
Right.
Someone laughed at me, so what? Mm-hmm. I will still go home, I will still sleep, I will still eat, I will still wake up the next day. So what do I lose? Nothing. And this is the thought process that helps me with certain things, but there's still a lot of things that I'm afraid.
What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of losing what we have.
No, what are you afraid of? Like in terms of if you didn't have that, what are you afraid of?
Pursuing certain life goals I have. Mm-hmm. Which means I'll have to make some drastic changes to the way I live now.
Okay.
And because of the fear of what may happen once I make this change, it's preventing me from pursuing some of these life goals that I have. And eventually that will happen. It's just a matter of mustering up and really work through it, which the quicker I do, the better, because as you can see, my beards are graying, so I don't want to sit around trying to figure out how I do it. It's just a matter of getting up and do it. But this is where faith comes in, because having faith in you and in God and in the project that you want to take will give you the strength, knowing that, yes, it's going to be tough, because everything is tough in life. If you want to do something good, you're going to run into some difficulties. But knowing that, you know what, it's going to be tough, but I trust in the process that I have.
Right.
I trust in the idea and in the project that I want to work on. I'm going to buckle myself and go at it. So, but yes, I'm fearing, and now that I'm a father and I have kids and I have a wife that I'm responsible for, more than ever, it scares me knowing there's decisions. If I take this, not only I suffer, but my wife could suffer, my kids could suffer.
Right.
So these things, and that's where fear comes in different forms. And sometimes it goes beyond what may happen to you as the individual, because when you have other people involved, because there are things that I would tell you, if I was thinking the way I'm thinking right now and I didn't have a family responsibility, I would have done a lot of other crazy stuff.
I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure you probably would be like in a different world right now.
Well, I mean, still be in this world. And
I'm just saying, like, the environment, the things that you would have done, it would be totally different.
I still believe we were destined to be. It's just that maybe I may have been a different person, and that could still be me, but with a different set of experience.
Right.
Yes,
well, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
So, but yes, it's looking at the things that you want to do.
I know I will enjoy my life to the fullest. Like, that's something that it's just something that a lot of us are so afraid of letting go. It's just hard.
Well, it is hard. It's hard.
It's hard, but I know for sure for me, I would definitely enjoy my life to the fullest, and I would definitely push myself over the limit.
Yeah, and facing fears, for some, depends on the type of fear it is or what it is that you fear. You can get up one day and cold turkey it and go. But there's other types of things. You have to make sure you have a process and you have a system and you have a plan. Yes, it's going to be something that you fear, and it's going to create that crazy gut feeling that makes you feel sick on the inside once you finally do it. But at least you have steps that you can take from that point on, so you can make sure that you get to whatever that destination may be. So sometimes you can't just go and face your fears blind. You
can't.
You have to at least have a roadmap. Now, that roadmap may change as you go, but you got to have somewhat of a plan, especially when it's something major.
Right.
If someone gets up today and quit their job and they have no idea what they don't have a clue of what they are looking to do, then that's just stupid. But if I quit my job today and I know, okay, I have this that I want to do, I have that I want to do, I have this potential place that I'm going to check out, and you just leave and you just hit the pavement running on putting actions in place. Yes, it's probably going to be tough, but at least you have things that you already have to do. But if you get up today, quit your job, and you go sit on the sofa, that's just stupid. What else would you, besides living your life to its fullest, what else would you do if you had no fear?
I'm not big at traveling. I don't think I was ever the type that likes to travel. I would just do me, not worry about what other people would think. I think that's something that I told you all the time. Like, it's hard for you to be yourself in this world, because you're always afraid of what people might say, what people might think of you. And it's always hard for you to be free and be yourself. Just be myself. This is who I am, and this is what you get. This is what you get, basically. Because a lot of time we are always trying to put a different facade. We act a different way because we feel like if we don't act this way, well, let me say for myself, if I don't act a certain way, that people will see me as as someone else.
You have an image to maintain.
Especially, you know how when you like a Christian woman and you have, like you just said, an image to maintain, and people expect so much of you. And I'm not saying it's something bad that I would have done. I I just want to be able to be who I am and say what I want to say and be free. Literally be free. Because when we so caught up in, oh yeah, I gotta be this person because I'm around this type of group of people. Oh yeah, I gotta be this person because I'm around this type of people. Have you ever seen like when you're around your brother, you like very like open, it's like your old self again.
I'm not stuck up.
But when you're around certain type of people, especially people that you either work with, you act certain way. Or people, if it's someone that you just met or someone that you just happen to see while you're at the store, and the way you talk to that person, it's not your authentic self that's talking to that person. It's you acting a way, putting up a show or acting a certain way. But yeah, for me, it's definitely be me and be me. I just don't know what other ways to put it. It's always hard for you to be yourself in a society where people are expecting so much of you and people are expecting you to act a certain way. So yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes I do that. I speak differently. Depends on where I am.
Yeah, you do. I pay attention.
I do, and sometimes it's on purpose, and sometimes it's kind of how it's just like there's certain people that I'm around. It causes me to just act differently, and sometimes it's out of habit because you've always done it, and it's just like automatically it triggers you to think a certain way, and use certain words, but
act a certain way.
But yeah, you're right. When I'm with my brother, we have a career, we have a life together, so we just let loose.
You guys really let loose.
And obviously, it's not like in a very informal way. It's just that we're comfortable with each other. We talked about anything, and we could joke, we laugh. It's not like we're like cursing and swearing because that's not something we do. But we relax. We talked about everything. We laugh. We crack jokes and so forth. Besides your dad that I crack jokes sometimes with, I don't think I've ever joked with anyone else as much as I joke.
Yeah, you
with my
do.
brother.
You're right.
So yes, and many times you find, and now that you mention him, I'm thinking of all the different people that I've interacted with and how even on this podcast, sometimes I do sound different than when I'm having one-on-one conversations.
You do.
With you.
This is me. This is what you get.
Yeah, this kind of hurts what you get. Me, sometimes
you put this facade because you're behind the mic, right?
I don't know.
I just wish that this world it'll be so much easier if everybody would just be you.
Just the way it should be.
Yeah, just be you, whether you're around your Christian friend or your family, your parents, or whomever that you're around. Just act your way, and people will expect, will take you as you are.
Yeah, but remember, we have to understand the environment that we've been brought up. Think of coming up as a child. You're told to do this.
Well, that's
don't
the thing.
Do that. You go to school. You're taught
right.
Do this. Don't do that. Even at the college level, obviously they train you to get in the workforce. So there's a certain way they ask you to behave, which is fine because you can't just go and be crazy in someone's company. You have to somewhat conform with the company's culture and norm. But you find that conforming, you kind of lose yourself in the process. You kind of become what they want you to do as opposed to, and believe me, when you become what someone wants you to do, you lose all your creativity.
You do.
Sometimes you lose your talent because you can't just be your authentic self where you can really reach deep inside your mind.
Right.
And bring more value because you have to constantly be conforming.
Yes. And that was me when I used to work for corporate, when I used to work for this company where, when you're presenting something, you're presenting a project, you got to be a certain way and act a certain way.
They expect you to.
Because, they expect, but then when you got to be a certain way, but it's not you. But for you to present the project the way that they want you to do it, you got to do it. But if you're doing something that you love, you're passionate, and you are who you are behind it, it's so much easier. In life, it's so much easier when you are yourself.
And I would tell you, if you look at some of the most creative people in this world, is those people that do not conform.
Yes.
Is they're free thinkers and they would go and try things that everyone says wouldn't work.
Right.
Those people, from my point of view, I don't think they fear anything. And I'd like to be this way, where you can just go and venture into territories that have not been explored.
You know who I kind of like? You actually told me about this guy, Gary.
Gary V.
This guy don't care. Like, don't care, okay? Capital don't care with an exclamation point. Like, he doesn't really care what people think about him. Yes, he does curse sometimes, most of the times. He's so confident. And when he's talking, he lets you know that, hey, just be yourself. I don't care what other people said about me. This is who I am, and this is what you get. And I wish sometimes, I don't think we should all be like him, because
he's him.
Right.
And he can be him. But there's a lot we can learn from him. And I think when I listen to Gary V, obviously I don't curse as much as he does.
You don't curse.
But the points that he makes,
it's so true.
Yes, it is true, because many of us live for others.
Oosh, I can't stand that.
Many of us live for others. It's either we're living for our parents,
or
we're
other
living for
people.
what our boss expects from us, we're living for what the neighbors think of us.
Right.
We're living for even sometimes what our spouse thinks of us.
Yes.
So we live for other people. When you live for other people, where's your life? Where's your own life?
Exactly.
What Gary V preaches is be you, understand you, and do what you think is best for you. Obviously, don't hurt anyone in the process, because actually he's a very helpful guy.
Yes.
Yes. Do what you do good to others, but be you.
Yep.
So, but yes, I've been following him for a very long while.
Like, when I feel down, when I feel like, I'm actually going into this moment, I listen to him. He just picked me right up. And especially like, if you happen to have a moment with someone and you feel like, man, okay, I need to get myself back together. I need to tell myself that I'm more important. What matter is right. And I really appreciate when he talks to these high schoolers, like let them know that, hey, listen, what you do is important. Don't worry about what your friend is doing. Live your own life. Face your own challenges, right? Too many of us are trying to be somebody else's that you're not. Why? You have your own purpose, your own life, your own fear, Yeah. You gotta face your own fears. So when we and I appreciate him because he does what he does for himself, not to prove a point to anyone, but to himself, that he can do more than anybody else's think. And I really, really appreciate this guy. And there's so many of other ones out there, and I'm all about live for yourself. Don't copy and paste someone else's life, or don't try to be like this guy. I don't want to say the word hate, but I would not like for you to be like someone else's that you're not. Yeah. Where my husband's like, okay, I'm trying to be cool like the next, like this black guy. Like this, whoever this black guy is.
Cool like Superman.
But no, I would want you to be my Superman and be that, and be your own self, you, not trying to be.
And this is where living life to its fullest come. And you made the comment earlier is when you're doing what you do because it makes sense and it resonates with your values.
Right.
Because the moment that you start being someone you're not, you lose yourself.
Right.
Now, I don't want to be Gary V. I like his confidence. He's a hardworking person, and he preaches hard work.
Yes, he does.
If you're lazy, you can't hang around this guy.
You can't.
I don't want to be him, but I want to be me. But I can draw some inspiration from his tenacity at what he does, and the confidence that he exerted at the things he do.
Sometimes I feel as though when you want to face your fears, you need to be around someone who's gonna push you like that.
Well, if you think getting to the gym, and this is where sometimes going to work out at the gym with a partner is better than working out at home. You go to the gym, you're with a partner, you're under the barbell, under however much weight that you can push up. You get to the last couple of reps, they're right there screaming at you, you can do it.
Right. And
they're right there spotting you. Yes, you're shaking, but you're pushing, and they're like, you can do it, you can do it. Before you know it, you do the last two reps.
Right.
So So when you're around people would push you
Mm-hmm.
and really tell you that you could do it, but not just
More
and say
like
you could do
people
it,
push you to face your fears.
push you.
and-
Yes.
Right.
So, and I use the gym analogies because that's what I used to do until I stopped going to the gym. I need you to be my spotter.
I did this morning.
Yes, but yeah, it's good. It's good to surround yourself with people who's doing things.
Yes. And that's the thing. If you're not doing anything, it's hard for me to be around you.
Why would I want to be around?
Well, you can motivate them, right? You can motivate someone, but you need someone to motivate you.
And
Right?
why would I want to be around people that I need to motivate myself? You know, Les Brown says, if you're the best person in the group that you are in, you need to find a new group.
Right.
So if I'm the one who's motivating everyone who's around me, I don't need to be around you.
Damn. On that note.
If I am the one motivating the people who are around
Well,
me,
maybe you're the coach.
you better be paying me good money for that.
It's like, no, I'm not.
But yes, listen, we all need to be in a group where we can support each other,
True.
right? Just like being in a marital relationship.
Right.
You boost me up where I'm weak, I boost you up where you're weak. Would you like it if I'm like the weak one and you're constantly having to boost me up?
No.
Right? You probably
Right.
say, hey, listen, I'm going to take you back to your parents.
me.
And it's the same concept.
Right, right.
If you're around people, you're the only one always giving and giving and giving. And it takes a lot motivating people. I tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Because people will come with all type of crazy negative thing. And you got to find ways to turn it around and help them see the light.
Boy.
It
Babe, that is
drains
so
you.
true.
Get it from
That is so true.
It drains you. So yes, if I'm
Yes.
around a group of people, now if I'm being paid for it, I have, as long as I'm expecting the paycheck, I should do it. But if it's in a social group that I'm in and I'm the one giving to everyone and no one's giving me anything to help me, what am I? No, I'm leaving. Like Les Brown says, I'm going to find me a new group where I can give and I can get.
Right.
Yes.
It's so true. It's true though. Like,
Anyway.
then what's the point? I mean, yes, I like motivating others, but then I've never gotten anything back. You know,
we all need someone to
right.
boost us up.
It's like, okay, I keep pouring into your cup, but you're not pouring anything in my
you're
cup.
getting emptied.
Right.
We can be a little crazy
At that
sometimes. as you can see.
part, we're very wise, okay? We do that all the time. But it's so true. Your circle
man.
matters, for real. Like, you cannot be the only one that's giving and giving and give all the time.
Yeah.
Who's giving to you? Who's pouring into your cup? So, yes. How's your
So-
circle?
My circle?
Our circle. I don't
Our
think we have a circle.
Well, our circle is us.
Yeah, we don't have a circle.
And believe me, we do what we can to
Ooh.
push each other. Believe me.
Oh my God.
You know, we're talking about the things we fear. If you looked at the things that we used to fear and now that we've put them behind us,
Boy.
we've made progress together.
We made
and
a
we have
lot
a
of
whole lot more
progress.
progress that we intend
Yes,
to make.
amen.
So,
Oh yeah,
but-
we are each other, you know, we keep pushing. He pushes me, I push him. And, you know, this is our circle. I mean, just like you said. Yeah. And then we get this, you know, we push the girls to be up there and be positive thinker,
hard worker too.
hard worker. Yes. Yes.
I don't want to raise no lazy children.
I don't want to raise kids that just want me to do things for them all the time. And I don't want to be around people that just want me to do things for them all the time either. You know, then just like you said, then what's the point? You know, why am I the only one that keeps giving?
Doing and
Doing.
doing and doing and doing. So no fear. You can get a lot done.
You know, I mentioned this to you a few weeks ago, and I just love the fact that you and we constantly growing and talking about what other ways can we grow and better ourselves. That's something I wish every spouse do with each other. Like, get your husband and get your wife and sit down and motivate each other and get to the next level. Yeah, so you really need to be with someone that pushes you to the limit. Like, if it wasn't for my husband, I probably would be like, okay, lean back. And of course myself, I do feel like fear pushes you to do a lot of stuff for yourself. You looking at it where, man, I'm so afraid of getting behind a camera, but then you did it.
And you came out unscathed. The screen didn't blow up on your face. Right?
This man. But listen though, fear is so powerful, right? It's so powerful enough that it's keeping us from achieving our goals and living our best lives. But don't don't cage yourself in. You gotta come out.
You just made a statement that is so true. Fear is powerful, but we gotta think, where does fear gets its power?
Mm-hmm.
We give it the power.
Yes.
Think of anything that we want to do. It's in us.
Right.
We already have the ability to do it.
Right.
It's us thinking that it's impossible to do.
Yeah.
But the moment that we change the way we think, it opens crazy doors for us.
Exactly.
Doors that we would have never thought was possible. But the moment that we change the way we think, like I do that for roller coasters. I get on it. I know it's going to shake me. I know when I get out, I'm probably going to feel dizzy. I know that. But I think of the fun that I get when I get on.
Well, you know what my issue is when it comes to roller coasters? Is that it's going to unbuckle and you're going to fall and die. That's my fear because it happens so many times. I think of the bad things where people die
in car crashes all the time, but when I get in the car, I think of this. So I don't think of this. I know that it's going to shake me pretty vigorously. I know that when I get up, I'm probably going to have to sit down and relax, or I'm probably going to be fine, or I'm probably going to feel dizzy a little bit. But I think of the fun that I get from it. And that in itself drives me to try. Now, my brother and I, we like this. We get to these things. We'll try.
The only thing I tried, I think it was when you and I and my brother and his wife and Eve went on that trip to Orlando. There's that big thing that picks you up from the ground and bring you way up and drop you. Never again.
Really?
Okay,
that was fun.
Never again. I think you went on it. Yeah, we all four of us went on it.
Yeah, and this is where thinking, the way we think, because you thinking that you're gonna die.
Yes,
I don't think that way. I get on a roller coaster. Dying is the last thing that's on my head.
No, I'm thinking about the buckle's not, tied properly, or it's loose or something. Because I watched the movies where it happened.
But you see,
even on the news in real life.
With that thought on your head, it's going to make it impossible for you to get on a roller coaster because you're already thinking of dying.
Well, let's just say I will never get on the roller coaster because I don't like them.
I don't think of those things. And this is where
I don't like them.
This is where the way we think is what's giving fear all the power that it has. If you're thinking you're dying and getting on a roller coaster, you're never going to get on one. If you're thinking getting on the stage and you're just going to pass out, you'll never get on a stage. If you thinking getting in front of a camera and talk to a screen and you're just going to not know anything to say, you're never going to get in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's changing the way you think and the way you approach things.
Yeah.
Like, yes, take roller coaster, for instance. I just get on it and think how much time I'm going to have. Some people are afraid of flying. I get on an airplane. I know the pressure's going to do me unusual because I have sensitive ears. I make sure I have like earplugs that I put on. So when we're taking off and when we're landing, so I don't get discomfort. Other than that, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. What about the boat?
Boat? Listen, I small boats, I don't do too good because of the rocking. But big ships, I do fine. And if it's a boat that's moving, I'm good with it. But if it's in the water and it's moving like this, I get seasick. I know that, but I'm not afraid of it. I will do it.
Wobbling.
I'll do it, but I know I'm going to get seasick. So before I get on there, I'll get whatever I need to do not to.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to, now I don't know how to swim. So I will not get in the water and try to swim. I know that I don't know how to swim. But I get on the boat, make sure that there's life jackets there in case I fall in, that I don't sink. But for things like this, I don't let fear, because I already have a way of thinking to allow me to just do them without thinking of the crazy thing that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so It's other things sometimes that gets me. Like the unknown of what may happen if I make a decisions. These things I have to get over it because I'm the type that I'd like to see out 2 years.
Yeah.
And if I can't see out 2 years, it makes it difficult for me to make decisions.
True. You are that type.
I like to plan things. And this is where try to keep control or try to maintain control of everything can be a deterrent. It causes you to fear things if you can't see it through.
Right.
And that's something that I'm fighting with because I'm already trying to make peace with the fact that I don't know it all. I'm not ever going to see it all forward.
Right.
I just have to trust in the future and to trust in the process that I'm doing
and
right
trust
now.
in God.
And trusting God.
Trusting
God is here. Trusting my abilities. Not quite yet, but I'm building the confidence.
You are building confidence. Eventually, whenever that time is.
Yeah.
Eventually. So, yes.
Yeah, but the fear that we all think is crazy that stops us from doing things, it's all in here.
Yeah.
Get on an airplane and jump out.
Do this. Do the Mel Robin metaphor. Do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then do it. That helped me.
You know what? The 5-second rules will
that
definitely
helped me. Do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and get out of bed, or do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and face your fears.
Speak. If you're afraid of speaking to people, count down.
I did it.
At 0, you just start talking. Whether they listen, that's their problem.
Who cares? As long as you know you did it, you started.
Yeah.
That's all that matters, That's all that matters. So you got to do it. You got to face your fears. It's there. It's part of us. I truly feel like Jesus gave us the perfect example. He had to face his fears. Right?
Yeah.
Many fears.
He died.
But then what happened after that? You have to face the fear and you're going to see what happened. Because I always feel like fear is something, when fears happen in your life, it's fear know that you have so many potentials. I'm going to use TD Jakes. I know that was really good last Sunday. It's your potentials that you have. Fear sees that you have potentials and it's pulling you back from coming out, right? If you're that singer, if you're that writer, but you're afraid of what people's going to say, it's because of fear see your potentials of you becoming this great singer, this great writer. So it's pulling you back and telling you, no, girl, you can't do this. No, whoever, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's pulling your potentials out. So you got to face them and kick them to the curb and say, you know what? I know you're here, but I serve a greater God who's with me and who's going to help me face the fear and do what I need to do for myself. So you got to face them. Whatever we do in life, our children's going to go through it. It's part of life. But you got to face the fears and move forward.
Right.
So,
right.
Yes.
Well said.
Yes.
Face it.
Yes.
Reach your potential. And the few things that we mentioned earlier at the beginning of the podcast that we want to do, those are all on my list. Travel, jumping out of an airplane. That's on my list.
That's not on my
and
list.
I'm going to do it. Oh, yeah. It's probably not because you're afraid of some of these things. But man,
I'm not doing that. That's not one of my fears, but I'm not doing it.
Those things are on my list.
There's when you're not doing it, and there's when it's I'm
Those
just saying, okay?
Are on my list.
Okay.
And I'm not going to let myself get too old to do them. So probably in the next couple of years, I'm going to make the plan and make sure I do them. And I will televise them just so I can have a record of it.
Oh, wow. Well, we'll make sure we have that for you guys.
Absolutely. May God keep me well so I can see those
yes,
days.
He will. Because he knows you want to do that. So he'll make sure that you will see those days to do it. To be around to see if you're going to do it.
Absolutely. So guys, thank you very much for listening to this podcast about fear and the things we would do if we had no fear. And for anyone who's afraid of doing anything out there, don't think of it so much. Yes. Just do it.
Yes.
If it's some things that require some planning, do some planning and then just do it. Mm-hmm. Don't sit there and keep planning it and replanning it. So thank you for listening and leave us some comments. If you're experiencing anything that's preventing you from doing anything, definitely leave it on the comments. Would like to hear. Please share this podcast with anyone you think it may be beneficial to. If it's your first time with us, thank you. If you've been with us from the beginning of this whole endeavor that we're on, thank you for sticking around and keep supporting the channel. Remember, If you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. And please remember to hit the bell notifications so we can let you know when these new videos are coming out.
And please like the video.
And please like the video. We appreciate it.
It doesn't cost to like the video.
Well, better yet, it helps YouTube know people are interested in what we do.
Yes,
So-
it help us. Help you.
So guys, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. Until then, we'll see you next Saturday. Peace.